Hello and welcome to Kashmir Now. I'm your host Uzma Jafri. Let's take a look at some stories of this week's episode. PM Modi announces a support package of rupees 20 lakh crore for the country's coronavirus hit economy. Activist slams Pakistan for doubling down on exploitation in illegally occupied Gilgit-Baltistan to achieve its agenda. WhatsApp control room set up in Pulwama for establishing better communication with locals amid coronavirus pandemic. Farmers of Jammu division facilitated with refrigeration vans by the authorities. India has announced a whopping 20 lakh crore economic package for the country amid the rapidly spreading pandemic of COVID-19. New Delhi has rolled out a list of economically beneficial schemes aimed at making up for the losses people have incurred during crisis and to give a boost to the revival of their trade and businesses. After 3 lockdowns of around 8 weeks, the country has also decided to ease restrictions in phased manner. While the economic sector will be resumed partially, other industries will operate with limited workforce. We have a report.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced a support package of 20 lakh crore rupees for the country's economy to help mitigate the damage caused by the novel coronavirus and the lockdown it has triggered. The decision was taken as the government is starting to pull back from one of the world's tightest lockdowns of 1.3 billion people that has left millions out of work. Now India is one among those countries that have spent 10% or more of the GDP to recover from the major economic dent they have endured due to the pandemic. Prime Minister said that his government is looking to provide strength to every section of the country's economy.
ये पैकेज भारत की जीडीपी का करीब 10% है। इन सबके जरिए देश के विभिन्न वर्गों को आर्थिक व्यवस्था की कड़ियों को 20 लाख करोड़ रुपए का संबल मिलेगा, सपोर्ट मिलेगा।
The country's manufacturing output contracted by more than a fifth in March from a year earlier, driven by the closure of thousands of factories during the lockdown. Industrial output, which includes manufacturing and mining, contracted 16.7% in March from a year earlier, as per the data released by the Statistics Ministry showed.
लॉकडाउन का चौथा चरण, लॉकडाउन 4, पूरी तरह नए रंग रूप वाला होगा, नए नियमों वाला होगा। राज्यों से हमें जो सुझाव मिल रहे हैं, उनके आधार पर लॉकडाउन 4 इससे जुड़ी जानकारी भी आपको 18 मई से पहले दी जाएगी।
The decision was hailed across the business class and commoners across the country. Everyone supported the decision, saying that such a huge economic package will definitely support the economy that has suffered a major setback in past few weeks. It wasn't just the people, but the markets too soared the following day. The NSE Nifty 50 index rose 2.68% to 9,441.55, while the S&P BSE Sensex was 2.80% higher at 32,254.16. India has come up with an elaborate plan to support the small and the medium enterprises that have been severely impacted.
There is a collateral-free automatic loan for MSMEs which is being provided. This will give facility up to 3 lakh crores. There are no guarantee fees, no fresh collaterals required. So I guess this will benefit 45 lakh units so that they can resume their business activity and also safeguard jobs.
While India has put a special focus on the return of the migrant workers to their homes, particularly in last few days, the Finance Ministry has rolled out a special plan for them. They, along with the farmers, have been provided with multiple relief packages. The government aims to help them monetarily by including them in the Manrega scheme that guarantees employment to the unemployed. The migrant workers will also be getting a special concession at the purchase of home in coming times. Meanwhile, industries in parts of India have resumed their operations following strict government guidelines. Smartphone maker Lava is among the early birds to have restarted partial manufacturing at its factory on the outskirts of New Delhi with barely 600 of its 3,500 workforce. Factories are being allowed to operate at roughly 1/5 of their capacity with stringent guidelines to maintain social distancing and hygiene standards. World's biggest lockdown, along with the extensive government campaign of social distancing and hygiene, have so far given positive results. Against the projections made by scientists and experts of India crossing the mark of 1 million by mid-May, the country has so far contained the spread and the numbers stand just over 80,000.
The state of affairs has declined from bad to worse in the illegally occupied Gilgit-Baltistan, and the plights have grown twofold. While on one side, Pakistan's deep state of the army has been tightening its grip on the region by regularly increasing its troop deployment, on other, the massive economic depredation has left common people reeling in the state of abject poverty. The region's tourism industry, which alone can meet the need of an entire 1.5 million population, is being exploited indiscriminately. All the revenues are going to Islamabad and not a penny is shared with people who have rights over it. Exiled human rights activists have time and again expressed their concern but sadly have received no support thus far. Have a look.
Pakistan is going all the way to implement its atrocious plan of abolishing the legislative framework of illegally occupied Gilgit-Baltistan and replace it with absolute army rule. It is carrying out a massive deployment of troops in the region in the name of preemptive measures against the COVID-19 pandemic, but their real motive is to keep a complete check on the people of Gilgit-Baltistan and stifle any voice that is raised against the atrocities committed by Pakistan. As per the human rights activist Amjad Ayub Mirza, Pakistan has deployed one troop for every 25 people in the region.
From Siachen up in the eastern part of Karakoram in the Himalayas, right down to Chilas, where it borders the province of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Gilgit-Baltistan has been transformed into an army garrison. For every 25 local people, there is one soldier in Gilgit-Baltistan, which means that there are about just under 100,000 Pakistani army soldiers in the region.
Along with keeping the entire illegally occupied region under military's control, Pakistan has systematically pushed its residents into a state of abject poverty. In the past 7 decades, no tangible development has taken place in the region. successive puppet governments that work under the instructions from Islamabad have just passed the ball from one court to another and have done nothing for the progress of the region. Gilgit-Baltistan's tourism industry that alone has the potential of prospering the lives of people in the region is indiscriminately exploited, as all the revenue generated through it goes directly into the current bank accounts of civil and military leaders of Islamabad, and not a penny is shared with people who have rights over them.
Tourism is supposed to be our best earner. We have got the world's second highest peak, K2. We have got Naga Parbat. We have got Deosai Mountain. We have got Shangri-La. But where is the tourism office situated? It is in Islamabad, in the capital of Pakistan. All the earnings from our tourism are collected by the federal government, which finally end up in the pockets of the military establishment through defense budget and other perks.
Pakistan diabolic agendas don't seem to end here, as now it is planning to gain a complete grip over the illegally occupied region by making it as its fifth province. And in order to make this a reality, Pakistan's central government is trying to conduct elections in illegally occupied Gilgit-Baltistan so that it can establish a virtual legislative control over the region. Activists, however, have warned of major repercussions if it goes ahead with the plan.
Pakistan has decided to hold an illegal election in Gilgit-Baltistan and have their own hand-picked government installed in Gilgit-Baltistan. And the purpose for that is to include Gilgit-Baltistan in Pakistan as its fifth province. So, if that happens, then the 700 miles of Indus River, which runs through Gilgit-Baltistan before it enters into Pakistan, is going to see one of the worst kind of riots Gilgit-Baltistan has ever seen.
Pakistan has been exploiting the illegally occupied region of Gilgit-Baltistan for the past 7 decades and has committed a number of atrocities in order to suppress the people of the region and keep them marginalized.
The people of illegally occupied Gilgit-Baltistan have already been reeling under the misrule of Pakistani government, and now amid COVID-19 pandemic, the situation is turning dehumanizing for them. The Gilgit-Baltistan government, which works in cahoots with Islamabad, is doing nothing for the welfare of the locals. Instead, it is busy filling its own pockets, leaving the beleaguered people to wither into oblivion. Have a look.
The spread of coronavirus and the subsequent lockdown has severely affected the lives of people in illegally occupied Gilgit-Baltistan. But the administration is least concerned about their worries. Even at this time of crisis, it is busy filling its coffers and is doing nothing for the betterment of healthcare sector in the region. Recently, while addressing a press conference, the president of Pakistan People's Party of Gilgit-Baltistan chapter, Advocate Amjad Hussain, criticized the government of illegally occupied Gilgit-Baltistan for its failure to provide relief to the lockdown-affected people. He alleged that government is announcing development projects rather than focusing on containing the pandemic. He even even lamented on the lack of testing facilities for the coronavirus pandemic.
अपने माशी अज़ाइम को हासिल करना चाहता है, वो अपने लिए सारे काम, उसके लिए कोई किसी किस्म का कोई लॉकडाउन नहीं है। अगर लॉकडाउन है तो डेवलपमेंट का बजट जो है कन्वर्ट होके उसको डाइवर्ट करके हेल्थ की इमरजेंसी के ऊपर खर्च होना चाहिए। ना हफीजुर रहमान कोई टेस्टिंग किट प्रोक्योर कर रहा है, ना हफीजुर रहमान किसी अस्पताल के ऊपर 2 रुपए लगा रहा है, ना हफीजुर रहमान किसी मरीज के ऊपर खर्च कर रहा है, ना हफीजुर रहमान जो लोग मुतासरा है उन तक राशन पहुंचा रहा है। हफीजुर रहमान साहब की तरफ से तो कुछ भी नहीं होगा।
Amjad Hussain also pointed towards the corrupt practices of the Gilgit-Baltistan administration amid COVID-19 pandemic. He said that administration has withdrawn 20 crores from exchequer for distributing some thousands of ration kits in the region.
$25,000 थैले जो कि गिलगित बल्तिस्तान में तकसीम हुए, टोटल 7 करोड़ रुपए, और इस 7 करोड़ रुपए खर्च करने के लिए हफीजुर रहमान ने 20 करोड़ खर्च किए। इस 7 करोड़ को प्रोक्योर करने के लिए 20 करोड़ खर्च हुए। इन ये जो मतलब राशन के थैले तकसीम होने में खर्चा कितना आ गया? 20 करोड़। राशन कितना तकसीम हुआ? 7 करोड़। तो डूब के मरना चाहिए इस हुकूमत को जो गिलगित बल्तिस्तान के अवाम के साथ इस मुश्किल की घड़ी में इस तरह की हरकतें करते हैं। यहाँ पे जाएं, गरीबों की क्या हालत है। मतलब एक गांव में 100 गरीब हैं तो इन लोगों ने 2 गरीबों को दिए, 98 को छोड़ा है। उन 98 को कौन देगा? या तो आप ना देते, आराम से बैठ जाते।
The local administration, which works at the suggestions and commands of Islamabad, has been exploiting the public money for years. While all the resources have been indiscriminately exploited over the years, they're not sparing even a health crisis of COVID-19 magnitude. In fact, they see it as an opportunity to plunder even more.
Moving on. Difficult times in countries call for a number of measures to be taken by the authorities. Establishing effective tools of communication and social media platforms to spread awareness among the masses can be one of them. Moving on the same line, a WhatsApp control room was recently set up in Pulwama district of Jammu and Kashmir to develop better communication between the authorities and locals amid COVID-19 pandemic.
For augmenting effective communication channels and establishing a unified interface between the authorities and locals, a WhatsApp control room has been recently started in Pulwama district of Jammu and Kashmir. Started by District Administration of Pulwama, the WhatsApp control room is set up for spreading information and preventive ways regarding the spread of coronavirus through WhatsApp. The control room has been set up in the district hospital of Pulwama.
भरपूर फायदा उठाया है और आने वाले दिनों में भी हम ये रखते हैं उम्मीद कि लोग बहुत इसका फायदा उठाएंगे और हमें भी इससे बहुत आसाइश मिलेगी कि हमें लोगों को कैसे मतलब कौन कौन लोग जो जिनकी ट्रैवल हिस्ट्री थी या जिनका मतलब कुछ कांटेक्ट रहा है, इसमें बहुत सारे फायदे हमें मिले हैं कांटेक्ट ट्रेसिंग करने में, सेल्फ रिपोर्टिंग में। तो जैसे हमारे लोग क्वारंटाइंस में हैं, उनकी कुछ दिक्कतें हैं वो हम रजिस्टर करते हैं और उनका फिर हम इमीडिएटली रिड्रेसल करते हैं।
Residents of Pulwama district have appreciated the district administration for taking this innovative step to control the spread of the virus. Through the WhatsApp control room, residents are ensuring maximum participation in order to provide all possible information to the authorities. number of locals have come forward voluntarily for reporting their travel histories and different issues related to COVID-19.
डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ने जो व्हाट्सएप नंबर फ्लैश किया है ये लोगों की बेहबूदी के लिए कोविड-19 अगेंस्ट है। अगर किसी को कोई भी प्रॉब्लम हो तो वो इस नंबर पर कांटेक्ट कीजिए और घर से बाहर निकलने की कोशिश मत कीजिए। डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के बहुत शुक्रगुजार है कि जो जब भी यहाँ से कभी भी प्रॉब्लम होती है तो एकदम यहाँ की जो भी एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन है डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन वो तैयार होती है।
A number of steps have been taken in Jammu and Kashmir to control the spread of COVID-19, because of which the territory has been able to relatively control the spread. From converting vacant spaces to COVID-19 wellness centers to providing all medical and essential facilities to locals, authorities have made sure that the people of the territory do not face any kind of problem in the lockdown. It is due to these timely steps and efficient measures that the territory is comparatively having less number of COVID positive cases.
With a motive to safeguard the interests of the farming community in Jammu and Kashmir and bolster their business, authorities have provided refrigeration vans to the agricultural officers of various districts of the territory. Have a look.
In an agro-based economy like that of India, farmers are said to be the backbone of the country. It therefore becomes important for authorities to provide essential backup, storage facilities and facilitate transportation to help farmers and other agro-based firms to yield better profits. For the same, the farmers of Jammu were facilitated by the Agriculture Produce Department of the district, who handed over refrigeration vans to agriculture officers of the 4 districts, Jammu, Udhampur, Doda and Kathua. The refrigeration vans were handed over by Naveen Kumar Chaudhary, the Principal Secretary of Agriculture Production.
इसका मकसद है जो पेरिसेबल आइटम्स हैं, वेजिटेबल, फ्रूट्स, इनको अच्छे कंडीशन में लाया जाए, क्योंकि गर्मियों में इनकी लंबी यात्रा करने में, मसलन कठुआ से जम्मू लाने में या आपको डोडा से जम्मू लाने में काफ़ी इसकी खराबी हो जाती थी, वेजिटेबल्स, फ्रूट्स वगैरह की। तो ये अच्छे कंडीशंस में बड़े बड़े मार्केटों तक पहुंचेंगे और उसे फार्मरों को अच्छी प्राइस मिलेगी।
The land under vegetable cultivation is gradually expanding in the territory because of the surging demand of vegetables throughout the year, which even offers opportunities for the farmers to market their produce and enhance their income. These refrigeration vans will further add on to the facilities and help in distant marketing of vegetables and other agriculture products without deteriorating their quality.
हम एक मैकेनिज्म डिवाइस करेंगे कि हम लोगों को मदद कैसे कर सकते हैं। जो पेरिशेबल क्वांटिटी है, जो जल्दी ख़राब होने वाली जैसे सब्जियां हैं, ठीक है कि नहीं, तो वो चीज़ें मार्केट में फार्मर के फील्ड से कैसे लिफ्ट की जाए, वहाँ तक कैसे पहुँचे, और जो रेफ्रिजरेटेड वैन है उसमें ख़राब होने के चांसेस नहीं होंगे क्योंकि ठंडी रहेगी। तो उसके लिए हमें एक कोई तरीका डिवाइस करना है कैसे ये हम फार्मर तक पहुँचे और उनका मटीरियल जो है वो मार्केट तक पहुँचाएं।
Maintaining an ideal temperature is a major factor in protecting perishable produce to avoid quality loss during transportation and storage. These refrigeration vans are fixed with insulated body, equipped with active refrigeration, designed for environment-controlled carriage of products. The objective is to maintain quality and prolong the shelf life of the perishable agriculture produce by keeping the temperature at a point where metabolic rate is at its minimum.
डोडा एक बहुत काफ़ी सब्जी प्रोडक्शन एरिया है। अस्सर, डोडा, अस्सर, जट्ठी और हमारे कुछ मरमत के इलाके हैं, वहाँ पर काफ़ी सब्जी होती है। और लेकिन वो उनका ये प्रॉब्लम थी कि जम्मू तक पहुँचते पहुँचते वो सब्ज़ी ख़राब हो जाती थी। ये जो रेफ्रिजरेशन वैन्स आई हुई हैं, अगर ये इनमें ये होगा कि अगर इस सब्ज़ी को 24 घंटे भी कभी कभी रास्ता भी बंद हो जाता था तो काफ़ी टाइम तक ये सब्ज़ी जो हमारी मंडियों में जम्मू में पहुँचेगी तो बिल्कुल फ्रेश पहुँचेगी, उसके अच्छे दाम मिल सकते हैं।
Provision of latest equipments and incentives like these are one of the reasons why the territory of Jammu and Kashmir is among the major farm producing regions of the country.
So that's all we have for you in this week's episode. Till we see you next week, it's goodbye from the entire production team.